Hi there, welcome back to Garfin's Creation. Today at Garfin's Creation, we'll be making this mini hot cross buns. These are so delicious and easy to prepare. The full recipe is mentioned in the description box below. So let's start with the recipe. We'll begin by activating the yeast. Here I have taken 3/4 cup of milk, which is not too hot or not too cold. Now into this, I'll be adding 2 tablespoons of sugar. This is approximate 40 grams. Just give it a stir, and then into this we'll be adding 2 teaspoons of dry yeast. You can use instant yeast or active yeast as well. Just stir it well and we'll let this activate for about 5 to 7 minutes. To get good results, always use good brand of yeast. So this is a sign that the yeast is activated. Let's sieve the dry ingredients. So here I have taken 2 cups, that is almost 270 grams of Maida, and half a teaspoon of salt. We'll sieve both the ingredients. Since I'll be using almond butter later, so I've not added much salt now. This I'll be adding half a teaspoon of cinnamon powder and 1 tablespoon of orange zest. Just grate the outside orange skin and then use it. Adding the orange zest is optional and you can also skip that. We'll just mix that, and into this we'll be adding the activated yeast. You can either add cinnamon powder or spice powder. Spice powder what you use for the Christmas cake. Adds a nice warmth to this buns. I'll also be adding 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence. Now we'll just mix this all and combine and let it get into a dough. I won't be adding any more milk or water into this dough now. But if you feel your dough is too dry, you can add a little more milk or water. If you feel your dough is too sticky, you can add a little more of Maida. So now using my hands, I'll mix all the ingredients together and make a soft dough. And now when the dough has come together, I'll just transfer it over the silicone mat and then we'll knead it further. You can also use a stand mixer to mix this dough. Into this, we'll be adding butter. I'll be adding 2 tablespoons of almond butter, which is at room temperature. The butter should be nice and soft so that it mixes well with the dough. After adding the butter, this might look a bit messy now. But gradually, as you keep kneading this, the butter will be absorbed into the dough. I will knead this dough for about 8 to 10 minutes. Till then our dough will get nice and soft. And you can see now that all the butter has been absorbed in the dough. Using the stretch and fold method, I will knead the dough till it is nice and soft. Now it's been about 8 minutes and the dough is got nice and soft. I will just make it into a ball and tuck it from below. So we'll need to keep this for the first proofing now. So for that, in the same bowl, I'll just grease it with some oil and just spread the oil and then place this dough inside it. You can also add 1 whole egg into this recipe. You can add the egg when you're adding the vanilla essence. The egg will make the bread even more softer. We need the dough to rise and get double in size. This might take about 40 minutes to 60 minutes depending on the climate. So this dough has taken me around 45 minutes to get nice and fluffy and double in size. I'll just flatten the dough and make it round. We will further divide this into 6 equal portions. To get your buns all in perfectly size, you can use a weighing scale. So you can weigh your whole dough and then divide it into 6 portions. So I'll just take 1 portion. And now we need to make a ball again of this. Just tuck in the edges below and pinch it together. This will ensure that the buns rise up well. Now I'll just roll it on the counter and make it smooth enough into a round ball. So now once this is ready, we'll put it in a baking tray. I'll just take in a baking tray and we'll just grease it with some oil. You can also use a baking paper instead of the oil. Now we need to shape up all the dough in the same way as we did this one. And we need to place them, just keeping a little space between them. Now let's see and make another one. I have used my same ladhi pav recipe for this buns too. But instead of the water, I have used milk. I'll put the link for the ladhi pav recipe too in the description box below and at the end of this video too. So I'll continue rolling all the buns in the same way. So you can see how I place them with a little space between them. For the second proofing too, I'll just cover it with a cloth and let it rise again once more. The second proofing too will take around 30 to 40 minutes to rise and double in size. In the meantime, let's prepare the paste which we need to make the cross over the buns. Here I have taken 2 tablespoons of maida, that is all-purpose flour, and just add a little water at the time to get the thick paste. I'll be adding around 2.5 to 3 tablespoons of water. Just mix it well so that there are no lumps. It should be like a dripping consistency, just like a cake batter. And it should form like a ribbon type when you pour it. So keep adding the 2.5 tablespoons of water gradually till you get this paste. To make things easier, we'll put this paste into a piping bag. This will help us to make the cross over the buns very easily. If you do not have this piping bag, you can just use any ordinary plastic bag too. So we need to keep all this ready while the buns are getting raised. So after pouring the maida paste into the piping bag, we'll just squeeze it out so it comes to the bottom, to the tip, and later on we'll be just snipping off the tip. So we'll keep this aside and then just check out with the buns. Since it's hot these days, these buns have taken me half an hour to get rise and double in size. For it to bake and get nice golden brown on top, I'll be just brushing it with some milk. If you prefer, you can also use an egg wash over this. Once you brush this with the milk, let's pipe up the cross over it. Snip off the piping bag. To make the cross over the buns, just turn the tray and make a straight line as shown. If you want a thicker cross, just snip off the piping bag a little bigger. Once you pipe the lines, just turn the tray once more and do it on the other side as well. So this way you will get perfectly looking hot cross buns. Once we have done the cross, this needs to be baked in the preheated oven. Preheat your oven at 180 degrees centigrade for 10 minutes. And then continue baking this at 180 degrees centigrade for around 18 to 20 minutes. Keep a check after 15 minutes as different oven varies. While the buns are getting baked, let's prepare the glaze that we need to put it over the buns. So here I have taken 1 tablespoon of orange jam. Adding just little water to make it a little bit lighter. Like a flowing thing so it's easy to brush. Instead of orange jam, you can also use apricot jam or just a simple sugar syrup. You can also brush it with some butter. So these buns took me around 20 minutes to be baked. So we need to brush these buns while they are still hot with that orange glaze that is prepared. If you do not want to put any glaze, you can just apply a little butter over it and these buns will be soft as well. But the jam glaze gives a little more shine and more taste to these buns. Now we let these buns cool down completely. The joy of having freshly baked buns at home is really awesome. You can check out the softness of these buns. We have not used any preservatives or bread improvers in this. So these are nice and soft. And let's cut one and see the texture inside too. So you can enjoy these hot cross buns with your tea along with some butter or jam inside it. So I hope you like this mini hot cross bun recipe and be trying it for this Easter. Thanks for watching till this end and do subscribe to Garfin's Creation for more recipes. I'll see you soon again with some more recipes. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.